Genocide is defined by the 1948 Genocide Convention as the intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a racial group, an ethnic group, a religious group. But a simple definition can't explain the atrocities committed in Rwanda. These baskets are a Rwandan tradition, techniques and ideas passed down through the generations. Rwandan society is traditional, conservative, close-knit like this basket. So what if you were to pull just one thread out, or two, or three, or thousands? It would fall apart. This was the purpose of rape in the 1994 Rwandan genocide. Rebecca Tinsley is a journalist and human rights activist who founded Waging Peace and Network for Africa.
Rape is absolutely central when you are trying to conduct a genocide because it goes at all the roots of a society. It's like you're ripping up the family, you're making it so difficult for the woman to continue to function with any kind of dignity. And that's why it's used again and again and again.
You know, rape is not as simple as we may look at it. It is something that is designed to take away your dignity, to take away your humanity. And the purpose of that rape was to kill these women slowly.
Rape has been used as a weapon of war for centuries, but it was only in 1992 that the UN Security Council declared it to be a war crime.
When I interviewed women in Bosnia, they told me the men who raped them would say to them, the first genocide is when we kill your men. The second genocide is when we rape you and we destroy the society that you live in. And the third genocide is when you find out that you're HIV positive because I, the soldier, has AIDS.
A lot of women who were raped in genocide also produced children.
You may not know that there was a brigade of people that were deliberately infected, 1,000 people, deliberately infected with HIV by the government then. And their work was to go ahead and rape women.
The extraordinary thing is that women I've interviewed in Rwanda and in Darfur in Sudan have told me exactly the same thing. So it's as if somebody somewhere is producing a playbook for how you conducted genocide, and they're all following by these disgusting rules.
In a country where rape is stigmatized, these women are also blamed for contracting HIV.
Then until 2004, the women who had been raped during the genocide were not getting medical treatment. Imagine this, the Red Cross was bringing medical treatment into the prisons to give antiretroviral drugs to the men who raped the women, but the women who they raped were not getting anything, and they were dying before they could even get to the witness stand to talk about what had happened to them.
Now, it's also difficult to learn that there are children who nobody accepts. Their fathers don't accept them, their mothers don't accept them. When they grow up, they get to learn that we are actually born out of rape.
The road to recovery is long. It's only been 20 years, but women in Rwanda are making progress, and they are doing it together. Organizations such as Aspire provide support and healing.
Once they get here and they start working together, often we find that it really creates friendship, more understanding, because we have a mixture. We have genocide survivors, but we also have women whose husbands are in prison for having committed genocide.
They were in a position of powerlessness before the genocide. Yes, they were raped. Yes, absolutely terrible things were done to them on a systematic basis. Yes, they now have to bear the burden of the healing. But in an odd kind of way, women have now, because the country was taken absolutely to year zero, women are now in a more advantaged position than in many other African countries that didn't go through that trauma, because they are being given opportunities that they certainly wouldn't have been given before the genocide.
Today, women hold an unprecedented number of seats in Rwanda's parliament, more than any other country in the world. Women are also encouraged to start businesses. Art collectives like these have sprung up all over the country, offering opportunities to earn a living and restore their dignity.
You know, for every woman who will have talked about what happened to her, there are probably 5 women who will never talk about it because that isn't their society. They don't unburden. They have such dignity and such reticence that very personal things like that may stay in some horrible, rotting part of their soul for the rest of their lives and never be talked about.
When these women get together, they do more than make baskets. Friendships begin, stories start to flow. Raw emotions from an unspeakable past are spoken. Nobody knows how many baskets it will take, but the healing process has begun as broken threads from another era are weaved into something new.
You know, they are the heroes of this story. They really are.